Greetings and all that jazz. What's up, my guy? We're in week 19. Been kind of smooth. I'm tweaked out. Of course, we always start with Merriam-Webster's word of the day, which I forgot to look up, so I'm doing it right now. So give me a second. Of the day. What you got, Webster? Merriam-Webster's word of the day is demeanor, which refers to someone's outward manner and behavior towards others. So do with that information what you will. We always start with the working out. I know I had one hike, walk or whatever. I walked a couple miles because, am I mistaken? I believe I did it the last time I was recording doing 18. So we had that one, which of course, I don't know, I can't remember. But yep, one walk and 3 spins. So, I take it. Other than that, anything significant life-wise going on? My niece had her prom. She looked great. I was happy to see it. So that was smooth. And I can't think of nothing really big life-wise that went on during this week. Let me look at the dates again. Nah, ain't nothing coming to mind. So, I guess now we'll go ahead and get to the jobs. It was a pretty solid week. Okay. So I had 2 beds for this one lady. And one of the beds. No, I didn't take nothing away. I just put 2 beds together. Yeah. She had moved. No, she didn't move. She had one of her older son's beds. And her younger son was getting it. I believe she said her oldest son passed, which of course is super unfortunate. But he passed, and the younger brother upgraded his bed, and they didn't have the instructions, so I had to play Tetris to figure that one out. And then the bunk bed was going in the youngest son room, the baby boy. So pretty much it was like a brother bed swap. So did that. That was cool. She was super appreciative and asked me about a couple other things, so that was smooth. I knocked it out for her. And then Mother's Day recently passed, so anybody watch this, happy Mother's Day to whatever mothers may see it. That passed. So as far as my personal life, I reached out to everybody that I knew, and we celebrated with my stepmom's, my pop's wife. Went over there, did the happy Mother's Day, celebrated her, and then I had a job, of course. So I went to knock out after the celebration. I'm like, I gotta check out, I gotta go make some money. And it was actually I had a client that needed a desk put together. So I went, boom, and knocking the desk out, and had to do it in 2 parts because she was like, well, I gotta go for Mother's Day. She had to go celebrate with her people. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I can come back. She's like, not even 10 minutes away from me. So I was like, yeah, I'll just go home and come back. So got started, we rapping, came back, knocked it out. And typically, like, if I gotta go back to a job, I'm not gonna take anything with me, at least on purpose. I don't take stuff, just have me leave everything here, all the like hardware and everything for the job. I'll leave this here, so when I get back, everything right there where I need it. But I guess in the midst of just packing up and trying to get my stuff together, I grabbed some stuff that I needed for the job. So when I get back, I'm like, hey, did you grab this or move something? She's like, no, I ain't touching nothing. I'm like, well, I don't take stuff with me, so run out to my car 2 or 3 times, find a couple screws, okay, come back, get to another part. Now it is missing. Okay. I had took all the stuff with me. I don't know where I had go. Like I said, just moving too fast. So I get to the end and I'm like, because the way it was, I've never done a desk like this. It was I don't know how to describe it. So like, of course you put like the drawers and stuff together, cool. And then the like table part that will connect to the desk. Typically it's like you always connect it, but this one, you connected the top part, you like screwed it in to the table. So you just put it over the top of the drawers and then screwed it down in. And so when I got finished, I was like, I don't have the screws. I don't see, I had put, and it's funny because I'm gonna get to another client that I was working with. I'm the quote unquote professional. So But all the things are, they come, and sometimes it makes the job super easy just having the experience. Okay, I done seen something like this, I've done something like this, or I can put 2 and 2 together to equal 4. I know how these normally go, so this should go like this. Like I said, I've never done a desk like this where you're gonna screw the top down. They usually connect sideways or whatever. No, this one is connected from the top to the bottom. So that was different or whatever. And as I'm working on doing it, I'm like, all right, wait a minute, get to the end, and I'm like, I guess this just sits on top like this. And I'm like, no, wait a minute, because it had the bottom of the table part had like holes in it, but the top of the drawers didn't. And I was like, and it was one of those where like some instructors are super particular, and things where it's very easy to confuse and make a mistake. They'll point out like, hey, make sure on step 7 that you pay attention to this, because if you do this wrong, you're not gonna be able to complete it. It didn't have it. So the top and the bottom looked like, of course they're the same size, dimensions wise or whatever. And there was nothing there to where you could definitively tell like, okay, this is the top, this is the bottom, this goes like this goes like that. And they didn't point it out in the instructions. So when I get finished, I'm like, I guess this just sits like this. And she looking like, are you sure? And I'm looking like, not really. Then I'm like, hold up, give me a second. Go back and look at the bottom. Oh, I got the bottom and the top flip-flop. Okay, so flip those around, zip, zip, screwed it down, got that done. So she was happy. And interestingly enough, we had been sitting there talking and rapping for a minute. She's from Florida, and been here like a little over a decade. So like I said, just rapping, we're around the same age. And I had asked like, hey, what's your industry? And I want to say she said, I work in human resources. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And we just kind of kept pushing or whatever. Human resources are like recruiting or something like that. So like I said, we kind of kept rapping, kept pushing, I'm working. And then, she get the backstory like, how you start this business? Tell her about Ms. Maria, tell her about my cousin, tell her about my homegirl, tell her about during the time I was laid off. And she was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, so I do this. And then I just started at where I work now. I was like, I started at that company or whatever. She was like, oh, you work where? And I told her, and she was like, that's where I work. Not that, HR is in every industry, you know what I mean? But I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I work there too. I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up. She was like, yeah, that's what I needed, I'm hybrid or whatever. And I needed a better workspace for the days I work from home, so that's why I ordered this. I'm like, all right, how about, I want to say if that was Mother's Day. If not that Tuesday, maybe that Wednesday. I know no later than 3 days later, I'm sitting outside eating with one of my coworkers or whatever, which I want to say that's the first. She's the only coworker I ate with or whatever. Because, hey, how you doing with this? You struggling or you doing good? I'm kind of struggling. We're in the same boat. I ain't picking this up as fast as I would like to. So we kind of was rapping after we had a study session or training that morning, and kind of just walked down towards lunch. I thought you were going to go her way. You won't eat by yourself, because typically I saw her eating by herself. But long story short, we ended up eating together and stepping outside, and we're sitting there. And I see the lady who I did the desk for sitting outside. So I was like, if she was talking to a coworker and they were eating together, so I was like, I ain't gonna say nothing. And then she looked up and she like did it. Are you serious? Oh my God! And so the lady was looking, because she was like kind of loud or whatever. The lady she was eating with was like, what? She was like, he just put the desk for me to be able to work from home, whatever. He was really good at putting stuff together. So if you need something, I got his information if you want. And so that was funny or whatever, ironic. So I knocked that out for her. And then, oh my God, this was a long freaking day here. So I had an older lady had reached out to me, and she had a dining room table and 6 chairs. I forgot it was 6, because most tables come with 4 or whatever. But when I gave her my price, she was like, well, just do the table, and me and my husband to figure out the chairs. Okay, work for me. So I gave my price. I get there, and I had another job schedule, so I was like, I can kind of, this table ain't gonna take me no longer than 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, depending on, if it's complex or not. Wasn't crazy complex. It was one of the tables that you can, it's adjustable or whatever, so you can put a middle board in there, like zit, 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 crank, or turn, not turn. You can slide the 2 sides out and put a middle board to extend it. It has an extender or whatever. And so I'm about finished with the table, and she see me almost done. She was like, well, can you just do one of the chairs So me and my husband can sit and we'll do the rest. And I'm like, it's not what we agreed on, but all right, that's fine. Because I had the next job, I had to do some inside and some outside. I did it after work, so I didn't get to her house till almost 5. This take an hour, so I'm like, all right, cool. I can get there by 6. It's, spring, summertime or whatever, so it don't get dark. It's like 7-ish. No, I said like 8 something. So I'm like, that's cool, which I'm not tripping off it being dark, but I do want to get this done so I can go home. I knew that the next job was going to take a little minute. And I only had planned on doing the table. So, you know what I mean? So I finished with the table. And she's like, can you just do one of the chairs so we can see it? I get to knocking out one of the chairs or whatever. And she kind of looking like, yeah, that's a little more complex. Which it was. Like, it was one of those very particular, again, that didn't point out. It ended up being 6 of them. Like, I don't know why. I forgot. Like I said, in my head, I think they wrecked. Yeah, they about wrecked. They weren't paying attention. See? But watch what you're doing. You just got that little car too. You got them tags still on it. Okay. But so she was like, yeah, I'm finishing up with the chair, and I had to undo like 1 or 2 steps on like 2 of the chairs because just trying to work fast. I'm already thinking about let me hurry finish this so I can get to the next job. Which my next client, I thought she was like older. She sounded on the phone. She sounded older. And like of course I'm trying to make it sound disrespectful, but she sounded older than she was over the phone. So I'm like, I'm getting at this lady house. So I let her know, hey, it's gonna take me a little longer. I'll be headed your way. I didn't give her a specific time. I told her, hey, it'll be later or whatever. And I told her, I was like, well, what I got to do inside, I'll do that first. And as long as you cool with, me being outside, it'll take longer or whatever. And I'll be out there a little late. But I don't mind working late. I don't mind getting it done. So as long as that worked for you, it worked for me. She was like, yeah, that's fine. If you cool being outside, I'm cool with it. So I'm like, all right. So, like I said, I get halfway finished with the first chair, and the lady and her husband was sitting there watching it. I think he said he got a bad back. She kind of on the senile side, and I'm like, I'm not gonna doubt nobody. I put it this way, I'd be very impressed if they could have got all 5 of them chairs put together in less than at least 2 or 3 days. So as I'm getting, how much did you say it is for all of the chairs? I had gave her my price, and that's when she was like, yeah, nah, don't worry about it. You ain't got to do the chairs. Me and my husband to figure it out. So then I said this much. She was like, yeah, you got enough time. And I'm like, she had already said like earlier in that day, like, if tomorrow works better for you, fine, but I don't be wanting to double back to people's houses. Like, some people I'm cool with, but for the most part, if I can knock this out today, let me knock this out and get on by my business. So as I'm working, I'm like, man. And it's hard for me to walk away, especially like it was 6 of them chairs. I had a system going, so boom, I would do step 1 on all 6 of the chairs at one time. Step 2, boom. Step 3, it was okay. I'm doing 1 chair. I'm doing 2. No, I'm not assembly line. I'm getting these things done. So I'm in a rhythm or whatever, and I'm like, nah, I'd rather knock this out. I don't want to have to come back. So I knock all 6 of the chairs out of it. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. So knock those out, get up out of there, whatever, head to the other place. So I get there, and she wanted a pergola, which is like a gazebo without the roof or whatever. So like the sitting area, she wanted the pergola disassembled and hauled away. She wanted her patio furniture hauled away, and she had 2 nightstands for me to put together. So I'm like, all right, go in there. Like I said, I'm gonna knock out the inside first, because 1, I don't be liking coming to people's house smelling like outside. And 2, if I knock out what I need to inside, she wasn't tripping off of it. I could take my time outside or whatever. If it take longer, that's fine. Versus I've been to people's house and they, she had kids, people trying to get ready to go to sleep, stuff like that. Nah, you got a stranger in the house. I know I'm safe and, trustworthy, but not even that. I mean, like I said, people might want to go to bed or whatever, and I can't go sleep till this dude finish. Nah, so I'm gonna knock out the inside first. Again, I ain't gonna make a whole bunch of noise. That's never my aim, especially late at night. So even if it's daytime, but especially late at night, I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna knock this stuff out. Try not to make no noise, and I'm gonna get out your way. So I get there, and she had, I gave her my price or whatever, and I forgot what I said exactly. Something about, I tried to charge fair this, that, and the third, because, I done ran into a couple people, not necessarily and I done ran into some that didn't try to haggle me here lately. She wasn't trying to haggle me in that moment, but I was like, you know, if that worked for you, whatever. She was like, no, don't like explain your prices. Your price is your price. If people can't deal with it, myself included, then that's on us. But no, you give a service, you got good reviews, you know, charge your price and stand on it. I was like, I appreciate that. You know, you get some people that be tripping about it. She was like, well, that's on them. But nah, you know, if it could work, that's fine. If it can't, ain't no hard feelings on my end, and I hope it ain't none on yours. She was like, you know, I got a 31-year-old son, I got cousins, I got brothers, I got uncles. Somebody, you know, they should have been doing it anyway. It's been sitting. The only reason I reached out to you is because all of them took forever saying they was gonna help me and they didn't, and I don't got time for that. So I was like, all right, I got you. So I said she sound older, and she said she got a 31-year-old son. I get that, and I'm like, said she got a 31-year-old son. She must have had him super young. Like, not looking at her inappropriately at all, but I'm like, she doesn't look old enough to have a 31-year-old son. Because at the youngest, you know, even if you was a teenage mom, that means you're in your 40s. She's like, you look like you 30 something, you know what I'm saying, like late 30s, early 40s. And so I forgot how I said it, but I was like, how you said your son is? Yeah, I think that's what I said. How you said your son is? And she was like, 31. She's like, 31. She was like, yeah, that's 31. And I'm not looking at you inappropriately a lot, but you don't look nowhere near, or you look like you in your 30s. She was, I appreciate you just at the 30s, so we laughed that off or whatever. And I was like, I know you ain't supposed to act. And if I'm rude, I'm sorry, I'll take it, whatever. I gotta ask, how old are you? Like, I'm like, I think she said 46, about to be 47. I'm like, yeah, nah, you look like late 30s, maybe 40. Like, not even 40s, maybe 40. You look good for your age. I appreciate that. I was like, yeah, you look young. I thought you was my age. So, like I said, I'm in the house, knock out the nightstands. I was like, I'm gonna knock out the nightstands first. And she actually ended up being like 5 minutes away from where I live. So I was like, this worked even better. My plan was, I'll take some stuff to the corner and just take 2 trips or whatever before I knew how far away she was. I was like, y'all probably better fit all that in. Or I could strap the pergola to the roof or whatever. But when I saw it like it was literally 5 minutes up the road, I don't know, I ain't got to strap nothing. I don't mind taking 2 trips that's 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go 10, 15, 20 minutes one way. So you bust it down in this 10 minutes round trip, oh, that's nothing. So I was like, okay. When I got there and saw how close it was, I was like, I ain't too far from here, so what I'll do is I'm gonna knock out the nightstands. I'm gonna go and she want me to take the patio furniture. I was like, I'm gonna take the patio furniture first because that don't require no work. I can get that real quick, which I could have sat down on the corner, but it was like, nah, I can go drop that out, come back, get the pergola together, and then go on about my way. So boom, grab the patio furniture. That didn't take nothing. Threw the chairs in there, threw the table on the roof, strapped it down, whoop, we in and out, cool. And then I did came home, dropped it off, came back. I did disassemble the pergola. I think this took like 30 or 40 minutes. Disassembled the pergola, threw everything in the car, drove home, dropped it off, and I had the city come pick that up. So I charged what I charged for that, and she was like, how much are you gonna charge to put together? She got a gazebo to replace the pergola. I need a gazebo put together as well as the gazebo put together, and she wanted me to put the patio set together, so I gave my price on that. She was like, yeah, just worry about taking the stuff apart or whatever. Like I say, I got, you know, a 31-year-old son, and one of them will put that together. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So my price that I gave her was for everything I was doing that night. The pergola disassembly, hauling away the patio furniture, and putting the 2 nightstands together. So I finished, she paid me, boom, everything solid or whatever. And we had scheduled for me to come back that Saturday to knock out the, what you call that thing? The gazebo. When I get it, she was like, yeah, don't worry about the patio set. I give my son the one to do the patio set. But yeah, we can do the gazebo. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna come back Saturday, I knock it out. So, when I left that day, I want to say not the next day, maybe a day or 2 later, she reached out. And she said it that night as well. Yeah, because she was like, what time do you plan on coming on Saturday? And I was like, I'll get there early. You know, Uncle Phil, I forgot to say that actually. That Monday, which would have been what would Monday had been that week? Hold up, give me a second. 7 days ago, today the 19th, so it had to be the 18th, 11th. I think it was the 11th. I know it was the 11th. Yep, Monday the 11th. when I got off work, I went to help Uncle Phil. I was supposed to be helping him put together a gazebo, but I got there so late. He was finishing up when I got there. We did like the net and finished up some of the roof, but he had did the whole base and everything. I'm like, dang, I really wanted to get this done, so it is what it is. So I was like, cool, the irony of that, because I had told him like, I still don't be super comfortable with those because I haven't done one at all. And he was like I told you, man, if you schedule one, just let me know. I'll work it out. I'll come help you. So the irony of that, like literally, I want to say it was the next day when she reached out to me and I got her job. And I'm like, hey, I got a gazebo for Saturday. You can help me. And he was like, yeah, I got you. Just let me know. I'm like, all right, if nothing else, I'm going to get there early because his wife is out of town on Hunger Bridge. So I was like, if need be, then I can get started. And if you could just come help me, I do what I can until you can get there. He's like, I got you. I'm like, all right, cool. When I got there, because I had asked her to send me a picture and she couldn't find the model and everything. So when I got there and seen it and looked it up, I'm like, this don't look like heavy duty. This looks like kind of on the simple side. So again, I've never done one. I know what he charges, and I, know that, things cost a little grip or whatever to put them together. But I was like, yeah, this one don't look like it should cost as much as the more complex and heavy duty one. So, I was like, what I do pretty much, I get paid for the patio set, and I pay him his portion out of the gazebo. Because I give her a discount or whatever. One, I just want to see getting one done. Like I told him, I don't mind. I ain't tripping off the money at all. I ain't gonna, say out loud that I do something for free. But if I can come help you, I do that for free just so I can see, because I'm gonna make more money on the back end once I'm comfortable enough to schedule doing them by myself. You know what I mean? So she had said something. Yeah, she was like, "What time you coming on Saturday?" And I told her, she was like, oh, "Okay, yeah, cause I forgot how she was wording with. Like she kept saying something to the extent of like, yeah, cause I already paid you for the gazebo, so I was just checking this." And I'm like, when she said that, I was like, what you talking about? No, you paid this for tonight. But okay, maybe I'm, misinterpreting what she's trying to say. So all right, whatever. So that goes by, and like I said, she checked in with me like a day or two later, and then it was, I want to say Friday, because I was supposed to come Saturday. I want to say it was like Friday in the afternoon or whatever. How you doing, E? I'm good. What's going on? She was like, y'all checking to see what time you say you coming tomorrow? And I was like, later than probably 9, between 9 and 10 at the latest. And then she said something like, yeah. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't Friday. I remember it wasn't Friday. It had to be, I did it Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm gonna say it was Thursday. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, because she hit me up Thursday and she was like, that was a little simpler than I thought or whatever. I had a family friend, he came and the guy put it together. It only took him like maybe 2 hours, so never mind on the gazebo or whatever. And I got my son, they gonna do the patio set, so I don't need you to, assemble anything for Saturday. I'm like, okay, that's cool. She was like, but I need some stuff hauled away or whatever, and I already paid you for the gazebo, so can you do? Yeah, I said you said that before. What you mean when you say you already paid me for the gazebo? She was like, the money that I paid you on that night, I already paid you for the gazebo. Oh, baby, no, you are sadly mistaken. I say, no, what you paid me was to take the pergola apart, haul the patio furniture away, and them 2 nightstands. Did you? I was like, I told you that. No, them gazebos, them costs like that's a pretty penny. You didn't pay me $1 towards that shit. Oh, yeah, no, I thought that was for everything. You thought what you paid me that night was to take a pergola apart and haul it away, take some patio furniture away, haul that away, put 2 nightstands together, and put a gazebo. Oh God, no! Like, I'm so sorry. You thought no, not even close. Like that ain't it. That ain't it at all. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, never mind then. So that was kind of funny to me or whatever, that she thought that she had paid already for that. Oh God, no, not a cent towards it, baby. So that was that. Did I have anything else? Nope. That was week 20. So that was that for all of that or whatever. And then I had, like I said, I helped Uncle Phil finish up with a gazebo. But like I said, that was so minor what I helped him do. I didn't even write that down. So that was all of the jobs. Everything been on the solid side. With the kids, they've been kind of getting on my nerves, like really, really getting on my nerves. Just it's crazy to see how, I'm not even gonna say that's sugarcoating to not say lazy, but how they're kids. I don't expect them to have the same concern with things that I do because I'm an adult or whatever, but it's like really annoying to see that all y'all care about is video games, food, and y'all friends. That's it, that's all. So that can be beyond annoying or whatever. And I need to go do something and take a break and just take a moment to myself. So, like I said, I don't know when, because I remember I was telling Raggedy, my best friend, like, yeah, she had asked about the whole Tennessee trip or whatever, and I was like, I had told the boys, because like, you know, you want them to have experiences you didn't have and stuff like that or whatever, and I had touched her like, no, that you said Tennessee was for you. Like, I know you be trying to do stuff with them, but do something for yourself. You got a fair point or whatever. I see. And after like this last week or so, and this morning specifically, yeah, I'm gonna have to get on that road and just go somewhere for myself, man, because it's really annoying when you try to do so much and make sure they got everything that they need and most of their wants, and you know, hey, can you do this? Can you help me with this? I want this, can I? And you doing all that, and it's like, bro, even the bare minimum stuff, I took some of that away from y'all just for my own sanity and, you know, to help with my mental health. And it's like y'all double or triple down. So I don't ask you to help out with stuff no more. But then it's like, forget not helping out. I'm gonna add more of a burden and be more of an inconvenience and not listen to the few things that you do ask to do. And it's just supposed to be cool, and I'm still asking you for stuff. Respectfully, hell nah, bro. You ain't finna keep pissing in my face and telling me it's raining. So, I don't know. It's about to be some changes or whatever, because I'm not finna keep doing that, overextending myself to people that's ungrateful and give you their ass to kiss, so to speak. So, whatever. But, that's what work, and that's what jobs. Like I said, business been going pretty solid, man. It's been going pretty solid. I've been really enjoying the job, and I finally got paid from where I work at, my first work check or whatever, and making the money I'm making from the business and getting a check. Ooh, hey man, we've been all right. It's been, we gonna be okay. We can keep this up. So, like I say, still not feeling like I fully grasped and got everything, but each day really here lately seems to get a little bit better than the last, and it's like, you know, I think I'll be all right. As long as, like I said, they're willing to work with me and give me some grace and some time to pick up on it. They don't expect me to be an expert today, which I met one of the managers that's been where I work now for 28 years. I said, sheesh, that's a long time. And she was like, yeah, no, it's a lot. I've been here almost 30 years and I still have questions. And she was like, don't worry, you know, like, we don't expect you to be an expert. But she's like, as somebody that's been here as many decades as I have, one of the, you know, some sage advice that I would give and something that helps me out, because you would think I know everything, but I don't. If you don't know, learn who does, so you can, you know, learn who you can use as a resource and who you can get the answers from if you don't know. So that's 19 in the books, man. I love you, my guy. Be kind to yourself. Ain't no more talking. Remember what you're putting in. And all of our goals that we're working on gonna happen overnight, plural with an S. It ain't gonna happen overnight. And in the words of that Chunk Rio, if you don't work, you don't eat. If you don't grind, you don't shine, man. And I gotta shine. Be kind to yourself. I love you, my boy. I holler at you.